Welcome home, neighbors, to episode 161 of the My DVC Points podcast. My name is Chad, and I am your host tonight for this conversation. And we are talking about the July resale market for Disney Vacation Club. Those of you who don't know, you have a choice. You can buy your DVC contract directly from Disney and pay full retail, or you can save a boatload of money and buy it resale from another member who has moved on. Maybe their family has outgrown Disney. Maybe they bought too many points. Maybe life's changed for them. Whatever reason, resale happens. And we're here to cover what happened in the market. There is an extremely hot and vibrant market for DVC resale. And they have been sponsoring my show for the last 5 or 6 years. So I'm going to welcome to the show from DVC Resale Market, Mr. Andy Berry.
Hey, Chad, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Andy. How about you, my friend?
I am doing totally awesome. And before we get started, I meant to mention this to you, Chad. Our hearts go out to every one of the Ohana on the island of Maui and also now Oahu, where the fires have looked like they're starting to spread a little bit. So our hearts go out to those Ohana. If there's anything we can do, we will certainly reach out to you all. But please, our thoughts are with you at all as well, too.
That is so true, Andy, because I mean, Alani, Hawaii, and we have listeners there. Okay.
Yep.
We have quite a few listeners there. And believe it or not, a lot of local Hawaiians love buying Alani resale because it's a great little staycation. When
Yep,
you're
the Kama'aina can just call up, make a reservation for an upcoming weekend, and just jump over, and much cheaper than the local rates. But anyway, our hearts and thoughts are out for the entire communities on those two islands.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. I was heartbroken when I heard about the news over there, and I had planned on taking my family over to Maui this summer. I probably still will, because I want to come back in and support the local community. It's like the last thing they need right now is tourists to not come there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think by us coming there and island hopping from Oahu over to Maui and spending some time there, there's some great timeshares over there. Got my eyes on the Marriott properties over there. Maybe doing a trade or something along those lines. But our hearts definitely go out for them. Thank you for reminding me of that, Andy.
Sure. But hey, we're excited today to talk about a number of things. Chad, what are we going to cover first?
So today we're talking about right of first refusal and what we commonly call here in the DVC community as the ROFR Monster. And we call that because if you're getting ready to buy a contract on resale, I have to come back in. Andy submits the deal over to Disney as our resale agent, and Disney has the right of first refusal. They can look at that deal and say, you know what, Chad, you're not buying this contract. We're stepping in as the buyers of this contract. And when that happens, when you're a DVC resale buyer, kind of puts a little fear in you. And so we call it the ROFR Monster because everybody's afraid of having their deal stolen by the mouse. And for the last 6 months, the ROFR Monster has been sleeping, hibernating, and they slept the entire month of July. And it's just the last couple days that they've started to come up and activate. Andy, what can you tell us about that?
Well, yeah, Chad, I think the Monster is still fast asleep. I think the 3 purchases that we experienced this past week are just an anomaly. If you look at what they bought back, it was 2 Animal Kingdom listings and 1 Grand Floridian. And quite honestly, I think it could be just an imbalance of the points that they had in inventory. Maybe they needed a specific unit that they needed to have points in for the Grand Floridian, and that's why they bought that unit back. Maybe they were depleted in total, but who knows? But the 3 quantity that they sold or that they bought back, not a big deal, Chad, because you know what? We sold over 400 listings in the last 6 weeks.
Yeah. I'm like, it's a drop in the bucket. We used to be up to like 6, 8, 10, 13, 14, 15% bought back in ROFR, and to get 3 out of 400, like that's not even 1%.
Almost not even worth talking, other than maybe the ROFR Monster turned over in the bed a little bit and maybe lost his pillow on the floor and needed to pick it up. So he picked it up with three listings, and now he's going to go back to sleep again. I think we can move on this one.
Yeah, yeah, he's looking for the cool side of the pillow like me at night, Andy.
Yeah, I think. Oh wait. I think I heard a little bit of snoring going on too. So maybe he's just fast asleep now.
Could be, but there is a correlation that happens here when Disney buys back contracts. What it does is that buyer still wants to buy a contract.
Hmm.
So now two contracts come off the market instead of one. And what that does is it tends to tighten up supply and it tends to make people want to bid a little higher for their contracts so that they can be sure that the ROFR Monster typically, not always, but typically goes for the low hanging fruit and a really good deal.
Yeah,
So,
well, in this scenario, Chad, some of the three listings that they bought back, there were other listings that sold for less price than
mhm.
the ones that they bought back. So that's why I think it's an anomaly of what's going
Yeah,
on.
and why would he be buying back Grand Floridian? Like they've got thousands upon thousands of Grand Floridian points that are on a fire sale right now.
Mm,
The incentives on
exactly.
Grand Flow directly are just insane. So they're
That's why.
discounting that to close it out. Now they're buying it back. It's
Yeah,
like,
scratch your
huh?
head. That's why I said I think it's probably an imbalance of points between a specific unit that they needed, and it's but the only way they could fill it out or something. But it's
Yeah,
probably some anomaly.
I guess the thing to do would be to follow the DVC resale market blog and follow them on social media. Cause like every time there's a passing of Rofer, they come back in and do a congratulatory statement to everybody. And we will hear if more of them are getting bought back. So the fastest way to do this, because I only record this show once a month, is to just follow you guys on social media over at DVC Resale Market.
Yep.
And
We're always
they,
there posting things almost on a daily basis. You'll
yeah,
see updates.
yeah, Facebook. Do you guys on Twitter? I'm not a big Twitter guy.
No, I'm not, but we'll start to venture into that. Maybe some Instagram here and there too.
Yeah, yeah. I know the blog is essential over there, and that's what we're going to talk about today as well.
Hmm?
And so we'll just come back in, and because we mentioned it real quick, I'll throw this up on the screen. And understanding the right of first refusal. If my explanation wasn't really good enough, you can find it out here. Just search for right of first refusal at DVC Resale Market. And we can scroll down here to look at these three contracts that were bought. An Animal Kingdom one, $100 a point. Average resale was 118. Well, I see why they would go after that one. Here's another one for 102 a point. Both 300 pointers, big contracts. And then this Grand Floridian 200 pointer, it sold at 141 per point. I don't even think they can build DVC for 141 a point. Like that's, I think they can build it got cheaper than that, right?
If
So
I
it's like, why
recall,
would you buy this back, right?
if I recall from my days at DVC when I worked at Disneyland, I believe, if I recall correctly, the starting price of the Grand Floridian was either 135 or 145 a point. So that's pert near for our Midwest guests, pert near the price that
Yeah.
Disney announced when it launched the Grand Floridian.
Yeah, and we have somebody on YouTube asking what got Rofered. So we just covered that right there. And I'm glad to be able to answer live listeners as we do this show and do the live stream here. So
Cool.
yeah, I think we've covered this. We beat this one to a pulp, Andy. I don't think it's a big deal, but I am going to keep my eyes tuned and my ears up and look to see what this monster does going forward. Because it could
Cool.
be just a rolling over in bed, or it could be completely wide awake. We will find out, right?
I think I hear the snoring again.
Yeah, yeah, it could be. Let's get him some NyQuil or something like that and keep him knocked out for a while, Andy. I'm telling you, no one likes to get their deal stolen by the mouse.
No.
Now, moving on to our next story here. Average sales prices for July. And we are coming summer price slump is the best way I can describe this. Because when we start to come in and zoom in on this a little bit, if I can here,
Mhm.
software tends to counteract me with the zoom, so we'll see. But everything is down, Andy, all the way across the board. We're looking at Animal Kingdom going from 120 to 118. Bay Lake down, Beach Club down. Boardwalk down. Some of these are just a couple of dollars, like $4 a point. But when you see everything down, yeah, that's a little concerning to me. So what's
Well,
your
so
thoughts here, Andy?
yeah, so the thoughts there are we announced the middle of July the amazing red hot deal promotion that runs through August 31st. So that's probably got a little bit of a domino effect on this where the red hot deal promotion put together by our marketing and
Mhm.
sales teams are listings that have at least a price that's 10% below market value. It can be larger, a bigger discount on it than that, but that's 10% below the market price on the deal. You can find those on our website under Red Hot Deals, and as of today, we have 23 of those running around. The lowest price, check this one out, Chad, is
Let's come back
$59
in.
a
I've
point
got it
for
up on the
Old Key
screen right
West.
now.
I got that. Look at that. Well, if
So
you need
we're over here at
1,300
the
points,
listings page, right? You just come over here to
yep,
listings, see all listings, and then on status, hit this little drop down here for red hot deal.
yep.
And this is why you guys have the best website out there, Andy. Like it's just so easy to filter and search in the largest inventory. So
Well, we're the
yeah,
biggest broker in the world for DVC resales.
yeah. But I mean some Bay Lakes here, 139 a point, boardwalk, and that's double points. Okay.
Yep.
All of these are like double
It's,
points,
well,
or at least fully loaded.
the fun part about this is, Chad, you look at any one of these, and for example, look at that Copper Creek 275 point listing. Last year at that time, that listing would have sold for 170, 165 to 170 a point. Bay Lake Tower at $139 a point, double points. That would have sold for 155 to 160 last year. Any one of these you pick at, these Saratoga Springs listings, when you're in the 90 high upper 90s and the low 100s, that's the price that DVC sold Saratoga for back in 2011.
Yeah, look at
So
that.
great,
500
great deals.
pointer, $96 a point.
How
That's
about
a
that, Chad? What can I sign you up for that one?
that almost double my point inventory, Andy. So
There you go. Well,
I
just
don't.
as a reminder for our listeners, that promotion is coming to a fast end in the next 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from today, that promotion will be disappearing. So
Yeah,
grab them while you can. Red hot deals, DVC resale market.
yeah. And just to recap on that, Andy, the red hot deals here are the listing is 10% below market price, and they're kind of like the eBay buy it now, from what I
Yep.
understand.
Yeah, no
So
haggle pricing. That's it. The
no
price.
haggle pricing. It's like here's a smoking deal, take it or leave it.
Yep. I had a guest this past week that was looking at one on Monday night, and they said they went to sleep on it, and then Tuesday morning they woke up, and you know what happened, Chad? Don't you? It was sold.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's what happens. Those things can go quickly, and they are going quickly.
Yeah, and we've got a couple of comments here that I'll just loop back in on. And I was thinking the same thing. Disney's fiscal year ends October 1st.
That's
So
correct.
unless they have a demand to instantly flip these points, I don't see them buying until at least October 1st.
Nope.
And they might have been given approval to unfreeze some funds because we know from their last earning calls, they got to be writing a big check to buy Hulu, and they're trying to get as much capital as they can. So for them
Well,
to
if
be
you
buying something, unless they're doing an instant flip, I don't see it, Andy.
I
Like
agree, especially for the first time in, I don't know, 15 years that I looked at the earnings announcement for Disney, the DVC business was called out specifically in the earnings announcement, which is a very unusual thing to hear.
yeah, yeah,
They're
and
under tremendous pressures, I'm sure.
yeah, they are. And I know sales of Disneyland Tower are down a little bit because there was so much pent up demand. So now they're really kind of waiting with bated breath. But here on the resale market, things are still moving. It's yeah,
We have been busier than you know what.
yeah. So let's come over another thing that I like to do. Let me get rid of all of my statuses here, right? And active listings only, because you can see what recently was on the market by unchecking this. Well, let me share the screen again. So I've got it now to active listings only, and that'll show us 437 listings which is about 5 or 6 weeks worth of inventory for you guys at the
Yeah, maybe a
current.
little bit less than that. We're doing about 100 to 125 a week, so it's about 4 weeks of inventory for us.
Yeah, about 4 weeks. So the market is still moving. Your DVC contract still has a lot of demand on the resale market if you
Hmm.
choose to sell it. And we don't know what's going on here with the price. I mean, I can only speculate a little bit that I think some of the negative stock prices and the negative things in the news about Disney and park low attendance, and maybe that's spilling over a little bit to the resale market, maybe, but who
You
knows,
know,
Andy?
Chad,
It's
as we talk, we've talked many, many times. Whether you pay a certain price today, in 3 years, in 5 years, in 10 years, that price is not going to be at the level it's at today. Yes,
yeah,
okay, maybe next month it might go down $1, but it also may go up $2, which is what I
yeah,
think we're starting to see. Some of the inventory by resort is a little bit, I'll call it, under the gun. And when I say under the gun, I mean compressed. We need some more listings. For example, Animal Kingdom is light on inventory right now, only 35 active listings. Boulder Ridge only at 12 active listings. Very, very few numbers to sort
okay.
through. You look at Polynesian, people are speculating whether you can use the resale points at the new tower. So
Which I
we're
hope
low on
so,
it.
but I hope
We're
so, but I think we're going to be wrong. But yeah,
we're low on inventory on Polynesian, and coincidentally, at first time I've said this in a long, long time, we are low on inventory at Saratoga Springs.
which is the number one resold timeshare on the planet. And right now it's looking like we only have 68 listings there. Is that
Yep,
right?
68 listings. Yep, correct. And then the other one I always, we've been talking about for the last couple months is Hilton Head seems to be a little bit light on listings. And if you have not been there as a DVC member, the place to be hanging out is between February and October at Hilton Head is an amazing, amazing experience. What a
I
great
went there
resort
in
to be at.
January once, Andy, to get in on that 6 point a night studio. Six
Yep.
points. And it
Yeah.
was cold. It was
But
definitely
it's not, it
cold.
was better than the snow in Michigan, I'll bet, huh?
It was better than the snow in Michigan. And that
So
walk
the
on the
northern
beach.
birds, how about those people, the northern birds that drive down to Disney World? Think about it this way: break up your trip a little bit at Hilton Head. It's probably about halfway, and from Hilton Head down to Orlando, it's another 8 to 9 hour drive. Not a
Yeah,
bad place to stop and guarantee that you can stay there.
if you're coming along the East Coast down I-95, that's a brilliant plan because it's not too far out of there. For us Midwesterners coming down I-75,
Hmm.
it's quite a bit of a trek across Georgia to get there, right?
Yep.
It's because you got to cross Georgia and the other states. But I know quite a few families that do like to plan a Hilton Head coming and going
Yep.
as a nice little break on their drive.
Yep.
And
Great. It's a great strategy too, and you don't have to own a whole bunch of points because it's relatively few points to stay there. But
yeah,
you can book it every 11 months ahead of time.
yeah. And
That's
unless you're looking at summer weekends, then the price points are, whew,
yeah. Go a
yeah.
little bit up.
Summer
Well, so
weekends is like,
inventory, the the
hello.
the the call to action on inventory is, if you've got a listing you think you want to sell, or you want to consider selling, reach out to, your favorite resale broker, I should make it singular, and give us a buzz, and we'll be happy to help talk you through the process and what the valuation is for your membership.
Yes. And just so, DVC resale market.com. We'll throw that up on a banner really fast. Is By the way, this is a sponsored show. We have been partnering with you guys for over 5 years now. I
Mhm.
have bought and sold, I don't know, a dozen or so contracts. Andy, you've done personally half of them, right? It's insane the amount of points that I've bought and sold through you guys. Had a phenomenal experience. That's why they're sponsors of the show. They've taken great care of me. I hear great things from all of my listeners in the community, and I know they'll take great care of you as well. But Andy, if somebody wanted to reach out to you directly to buy a contract, list a contract, or answer a question,
Any questions, we love. Hey, you can catch me at Andy at dvcresalemarket.com. You see that all right there. Or direct at 949-412-0850. And Chad, what's the easiest way to remember me?
Andy, like the bottom of Woody's boot.
Look at this.
There we go.
Any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to any of the agents at the DVC resale market. Again, my name is Andy with co-host Chad at the helm.
Yep. And then just one more quick plug. I'm going to throw the website back up here as well and take down the banner. Come all the way over here, guys, to dvcresalemarket.com. And I'm just a huge fan of this website, which is why I've started running this live show in the market update, just live streaming the website, because you can come over here and chat. You can come over here and do research, can find listings, average sales prices, dues, whatever you're looking for in DVC. It's right there at your fingertips. So thank you for tuning in, everybody. And Andy, any final words to take us out of here?
I was going to say about the website is a great central repository and library of anything and everything you ever wanted to know about DVC. Again, reach out to one of the agents at the market, and we'll at least guide you to where you can find that on our website. It's always a pleasure to share a little bit of time with you, Chad. I only wish we lived a little bit closer, but welcome home to all our families out there. Anybody considering it, we're looking forward to working with you. And again, our hearts go out to the families, the Ohana in Maui and Oahu.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Andy. And hopefully you guys learned something in today's show that'll help you make an informed and educated decision about what's best for your family. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great night.
Welcome home.